while we're here, there's Moho right there. That's what it looks like. Appears to be a small brown planet. Too far away to tell anything more really at this point. So we'll take a better look once we get in closer. Alright, we're still bringing our periapsis down quite slowly, but that's alright. Because we are slowing ourselves down a lot if you look at our speed, which is what we need to be captured by the gravity. So slow down. Let's see here. Like I said, we'll bring it down to around 100,000. Why 100,000? I don't know. It's just a number I picked. In case any of you are wondering why I do most of the maneuvers that I do, it's just kind of random, educated guesses on where I want to be with things. I just usually pick a random number that sounds about right and go for it. So, here, our periapsis is still coming down. Let's do this, that'll bring it down a little quicker, and then we can get there and then do a burn again. That'll hopefully slow us down enough to bring us into an orbit. And pretty soon we can stop here. Alright, right around there is good enough. So now let's get down to our periapsis. 40 minutes away, which, if you remember, when we were orbiting around Joule, we were like 100 days away from the other side of our orbit. This one, we are minutes away from our periapsis. So that just shows the difference, how much bigger Joule is than Moho. Alright, there, you can take a look at Moho. It appears to be just a big, or not a big, a small brown planet. There's really not much else we can tell about it yet. Doesn't look like it has any liquid on it. It looks pretty rocky, similar to the moon. Alright, but we're at our periapsis now. So we should be able to do this. Let's switch to this map just so that we can see what we're doing a little better. Do this. Make a burn. Slow ourselves down, hopefully bringing this around. So this could take a little while to bring this around. We gotta slow ourselves down quite a bit. Meanwhile, we'll take a look at Moho. It is definitely looks a lot like the moon. It's got lots of craters, and it looks pretty barren and rocky. Being this close to the sun, I wouldn't really expect it to have life. I would expect it to be very hot. There's the sun. That's as close as we've gotten to the sun so far. Hopefully we can actually slow ourselves down enough to orbit this thing. I don't know, we're going pretty quick, but we are slowing down a lot, although we're using a lot of fuel to do it. I don't know if we're going to be able to slow down enough or not, but we've at least had a close flyby. So that's better than nothing, so we might as well take a look at it while we're here. I would like to put this thing in orbit, but if we can't, we can't. It looks like it Might be starting to curl around pretty soon. Looks like it is a little bit. And there's our sun apoapsis, which is going down actually, as is our periapsis. So if we do get shot out of Moho's orbit, we're going to be real close to the sun. Maybe send a probe into the sun at some point, just to see what happens. See how close to the sun we could get. That could be an interesting mission. Alright. So basically what I'm getting from this is Moho looks like a very large version of the moon. Moon, however you pronounce it. I've been going with moon. So we may eventually do some missions here, but I don't know about that. It doesn't look to have an atmosphere at all, and I wouldn't really expect it to. So we'd have to bring down a lander. Alright, well, our Moho escape is taking quite a bit. Let's see if this will help speed things up, going like this. There we go. That should help a little bit, hopefully. We are getting pretty low on fuel, so it's going to be close whether or not we can actually put this thing in orbit. We need this to come and curl all the way around, and we're getting low on fuel, so I don't know if that's going to happen. And then we would be shot out into space to orbit around the sun again. But I don't know, we're gonna try get into an orbit first, and if not, then we'll worry about that later. Okay. It is curling around, but I don't know if it's gonna be fast enough to complete the orbit before we run out of fuel. This will be close. Again, we'll take a longer look at Moho. It doesn't have any moons, and it doesn't appear to be the most interesting planet. At least not anything we're going to be sending a mission to anytime too soon. Alright, well, this is starting to curl around, so maybe we can do it. But I don't know about that. It's definitely going to be close. Looking at our fuel, we're down to around 100. I'm not sure what unit of measurement, but 100 left. We started with 720 on this stage. We're down to 100, but it is curling around pretty fast. Come on, finish the orbit. Come on, down to 90. Come on, finish the orbit. Finish the orbit. We don't want to get tossed out around the sun. Down to 65. Ooh, this is going to be close. This is going to be really close. Come on, finish the orbit. Down to 50. Oh, this is very, very close. Need to go this way more. 30. Come on. Come on, finish the orbit. Down to 15. Down less than 10. Ooh, this is very close. We might just barely run out of fuel. Let's see. Oh, look at how close we were. We were so close to finishing, getting an orbit, but we didn't do it. Ah, dang it. Alright, well, either way, Moho doesn't look overly interesting, and we did get a decent look at it while we were here, at least enough to know that I don't think it warrants any missions in the immediate future. We have other planets we could be better spending our time on, but at least now we know that, so that's good. And this thing is going to be orbiting pretty close to the sun from now on. So I guess we could take a look at that too. And dang it, that sucks. We were so close to finishing off an orbit. Look at that. Because if it got to like right around here or so, it would have finished off the orbit. But unfortunately, that did not happen. So now we will just enjoy our time looking at Moho here. We can deploy our satellite fully, because this is what the end result of the satellite should look like. Just like this. So there we go. There is the Kerbal Deep Space 4 in its final stage, traveling around Moho, and it's gonna fly closer in, so we'll take a look at that once we get closer here. And then when we do that, we'll see if there's anything more interesting, really. Doesn't look like it. It looks all pretty barren looking. But alright, we're starting to leave Moho. So there it is. This was an interesting mission. We'll call it a success, because there's no catastrophic failures, and we learned what Moho is like. Even though we didn't get an orbit, that's not really the worst thing in the world. We didn't need one necessarily. And now this thing is going to be orbiting very close to the sun. So we'll say goodbye to Moho here. Bye, Moho. And then once we get out of its gravity here, we'll take a look, one last look at the innermost planet in the solar system. We may return one day, but not for a while. And now, let's get to our sun periapsis, just because that's the closest we'll have ever been to the sun. And we'll take a look and see what that looks like. Alright. There's our periapsis. We are one day, 12 hours away. There we go. And the sun is very large. So we're in close, we passed our periapsis already. So there's the sun. as close as we've ever been. And the Kerbnik Deep Space 4 will continue to orbit around the Sun inside the orbit of Moho forever. So we'll call this mission to a close here as we orbit the Sun. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and we learned a little bit about Moho even though we couldn't get an orbit. And I will be back. I'm not sure what the next mission's going to be yet. I'm going to take a little time to think about that. And we'll be back. So thank you guys for watching again and see you next time. Bye-bye.